Woof woof! Hello everybody, Shuffle Woof here with a new album review. Today we will be discussing the new Lexi Cat album, HEARTSTRINGS. Lexi Cat is an indie electronic producer who has been releasing music since 2022, starting with her mellow Moonflower EP. From here, her 2023 EP, Crystal Forest, as well as her debut album, Angelicide, saw her exploring drum and bass, breakbeat, hyperpop, and digicore, with nods to anime and indie video game aesthetics. Her next album, Flowerfield, gives this sound a more experimental edge, distorting it while touching on other genres like vaporwave and drone. 2024's Dark Blossom builds further on her crunchy electronic vibe, while incorporating more vocal parts than ever. Lexi Cat succeeding with more of a pop appeal while also working in some serene instrumentals. Now comes Heartstrings, where Lexi Cat dips her toes into metal and screamo. The album begins with a brief Heart on My Sleeve, whose lyrics I love, even if I wish the song progressed a bit further past its deep organs and echoed acoustics. In contrast to the calming first track, though, Gardenia is a blown-out metal banger that feels massive in scope. I like the hyper-pop touches with a vocal delivery as well as how nice the melodies are. I do feel the mix is quite harsh for the most part, but I do like its ending, which goes in a more art-style direction. Artery, featuring art charades, is a bright rock and chiptune fusion with soaring vocals and big distorted guitars. I love its balance of bright and dark sounds, especially when we get to the hard-style breaks on the second verse. Very energetic. After this is the hypnotic skull, whose smokier and more echoed aspects I love. I do feel the distortion and the mixing interferes with my enjoyment of the track. However, at points the noise that fills up the high end feels like it is fighting for space with the guitars and vocals. The heavy guitar part at the end adds a lot of gas to the track, though. Twilight is another combination of heavy metal and hyperpop, and it is enough of a vibe that I do not mind the harsher mixing during the louder sections. The track also contains some softer acoustic-led moments, which go down very well in contrast to the whole intro. Ash Your Cigarette, featuring Why Haze Goes, for a bit crushed mix, building up from a garage drum set beat and sweet chimes to a fuller rock sound. It is a calmer moment on the record, which is certainly needed given how abrasive a lot of the surrounding tracks sound. After this comes Tragedy, which starts off bright with huge metal guitars and gargantuan synth chimes. The lyrics are a bit hard to make out during the louder points, but the sound of this is too good to deny, especially with some of the crazy electronic work. The massiveness of this track is put to the side in the second half, making way for an ethereal, echoed section. It is complete with soft pianos and emotional lyrics lamenting a relationship that is not working out. So heart-wrenching. Matryoshka goes for a dark emo rock sound, pulling it off well with great writing and vocal performances. Like the last track, it is a bit hard to make out the lyrics during certain points, but this is another case where the sound as a whole can justify it for me. The ambient EDM breakdown in the second half goes absolutely insane, its hugeness contrasting well with a Porter Robinson-esque piano outro. I love how comforting the lyrics are at the end, too. After this, Lexi Cat once again jumps us with another hard metal intro on Cruelty, which starts with some harrowing screamo. I love the fusion of metal and ambient hyperpop on the chorus, as well as the minimalist piano and heavenly pads that solo midway through. Great writing, too. This all builds up to a violent dubstep-esque drop at the end, quite the feast for the ears. Joplin switches things up by giving us a cute acoustic refrain as well as a neat color bass and EDM drop in the latter half. Mercy starts calmly with its acoustics, soft synths, and bird samples before hitting us with a dark metal drop. While the chorus writing and production goes off, I do wish the verses had a similar impact. Still, I do like the touches of piano on the bridge as well as the sonic direction of the ending electronic breakdown. We then get the title track, Heartstrings, whose sound plays in a similar ballpark to other tracks. I do wish the vocal leveling was a bit more consistent on this one, as I find some of the vocals are mixed very quietly, especially near the start. In spite of this, the grandiose bells on the bridge are quite nice, as well as the distorted color bass drop at the end. we end with a slow ballad outro that is funny, whose distorted synth guitar strums and vocal delivery once again reminds me of Porter Robinson. I love the lyrics and how tender this one comes off, such a lovely way to end the album. Overall, while I have my criticisms about the mixing on this project, Lexi Cat has a great ear for what sounds work well together, and she certainly knows how to pen some compelling tunes. For her first big project exploring rock sounds as heavy as this, I think she pulled it off very well. There was no point on this record where I was completely turned off of what I was listening to in spite of me being picky about the technicals. Of course, this is just my opinion. I understand that the fuzziness of this album is an aesthetic that others will have a greater appreciation for than me. So, if heavy distortion and metal mixed with bright hyperpop is your vibe, do give this one a shot. Woof woof.